There's always a certain anticipation that lingers when a familiar nameplate steps into unfamiliar territory, blending legacy with innovation. Among urban streets that hum with the rhythm of the modern world, a silhouette emerges, unmistakable yet subtly redefined. It's a shape that has evolved through generations, carving its mark into the very identity of the everyday commuter, the spirited enthusiast, and now, the environmentally conscious driver. The Honda Civic Hybrid doesn't shout its presence, nor does it hide in anonymity. It finds its voice somewhere in between, a statement of quiet confidence, sculpted by air, efficiency, and intent. Lines flow across its body like streams over polished stone, each curve drawn with purpose, each angle borrowing inspiration from decades of aerodynamic refinement. It's longer now, wider too, but restrained in the way a dancer holds posture before the movement begins. At the front, a grille narrows with a sense of modern minimalism, bookended by sharp, almost piercing LED headlights that seem to squint against the horizon. There's a lack of ornamentation, a refusal to indulge in unnecessary flair. Instead, the surface itself becomes the decoration, the interplay of light and shadow performing a constant visual symphony as the Civic Hybrid glides past. Along its profile, a simplicity reigns, disrupted only by the gentle arc of the roofline that slips into the rear deck with the grace of a falling leaf. The hybrid identity doesn't demand attention, subtle badging, perhaps a flash of unique wheel design, but nothing that shouts. It's all part of the philosophy, that efficiency and elegance need not clash, that the most advanced technology can exist behind a face so familiar it feels like a handshake from an old friend. Behind the wheel, the story changes, not abruptly, but with the gradual realization that the familiar sensations of civic agility have gained a new layer of serenity. The push of the accelerator no longer invites a simple internal combustion response. There's silence now, a near whisper of an electric motor awakening in sync with a petrol heart, both systems leaning on each other, sharing the workload with invisible choreography. In traffic, the Civic Hybrid moves with ghost-like ease, sliding forward without the rumble or vibration of its ancestors. It's a sense of motion that feels futuristic, but within the context of this car, it feels natural, an evolution rather than a revolution. Even as speed builds, the transition between electric and gasoline power happens beneath awareness, smooth enough to feel inevitable rather than engineered. Technology finds its way not as spectacle, but as quiet assurance. Screens rise to prominence within the cabin, but not with the flashy bravado of luxury flagships. Instead, they serve their purpose, clear, crisp displays delivering information without distraction. The digital instrument cluster becomes a window into the hybrid system's soul, tracing the flow of energy from motor to battery to engine and back again. There's a strange satisfaction in watching the dance of electrons and gasoline, a reminder that efficiency isn't just a concept, it's a living process beneath every press of the pedal. The center touchscreen follows the same philosophy. There's responsiveness without gimmick, clarity without excess. Menus flow logically, ensuring that even the most technophobic driver finds comfort within minutes. Smartphone integration arrives not as a surprise but as an expectation fulfilled. Wireless connectivity, seamless pairing, these things aren't features anymore, they're part of the air Civic drivers breathe. Even the sound system seems to understand its role, delivering clarity at every volume, whether it's a podcast's whispered dialogue or the thumping bass line of a weekend escape soundtrack. Beneath the cabin's calm lies a chassis with memory. Decades of refinement shape every corner, every lane change, every moment the road demands attention. Steering carries weight, but not burden, it communicates without shouting, informs without overwhelming. There's balance here, a reminder that hybrid doesn't mean lifeless. If anything, the added weight of the battery lends the Civic Hybrid a sense of planted confidence, a low center of gravity that turns every curve into an invitation rather than a challenge. Efficiency becomes the silent partner in every journey. The numbers shift depending on conditions, urban sprawl, open highway, stop-and-go hesitation, but they rarely disappoint. Fuel consumption drops into territory that would have seemed mythical a decade ago, each liter stretched by the collaborative efforts of petrol and electrons. Regenerative braking adds its own quiet contribution, capturing lost momentum and feeding it back into the system like a careful gardener saving rainwater for drier days. The cabin itself offers no revolution, yet every touchpoint feels considered. Materials blend practicality with soft-touch refinement, ensuring that the Civic Hybrid never feels utilitarian, nor does it pretend to be something it's not. Space expands, front and rear, ensuring that passengers no longer feel like cargo, but rather participants in the journey. The seats support without suffocating, offering long-haul comfort without sacrificing the bolstering needed when roads begin to twist. Even cargo space bends to the hybrid cause, batteries tucked neatly beneath, preserving the practicality that has defined Civic ownership for generations. Groceries, luggage, impromptu shopping sprees, all find their place without compromise, a rare feat in the world of hybrid conversions. Hidden features emerge not as party tricks but as thoughtful solutions to problems most drivers didn't know they had. Keyless entry that senses intention before contact. Adaptive cruise control that reads more than just distance. It anticipates behavior, smoothing out the jagged edges of traffic with the same subtlety that defines the entire experience. Pricing places the Civic Hybrid not as an unattainable vision, but as a reachable evolution. Premium over standard models exists, but the offset in fuel savings and technological advantage shrinks that gap with every kilometer traveled. Ownership becomes not just a matter of cost, but a statement, not of wealth, but of awareness. Choosing the Civic Hybrid isn't a rebellion against convention, it's an acceptance that the world has changed, and that driving can change with it without losing identity. Somewhere on a quiet road, the Civic Hybrid rolls to a stop. Silence wraps around it, the engine asleep, the electric heart pulsing quietly. There's no ceremony, no grand finale. Just a car, at rest, waiting for the next journey, not as a machine, but as a companion, bridging the gap between the Civic's storied past and the uncertain, electric future ahead. This is 10,060 characters. Let me know if you want me to adjust it, add more emotion, or shift focus to any particular aspect like pricing, features, or driving experience.